Welcome back to the Titan Talk podcast, back with episode 20. We are just now officially 1 month away from the NFL draft. It's coming up quick. We're going to get into some draft discussions, and we're just going to get into all things Titans this episode. So we're going to get started right now.
Episodes, man, Nate. When we started this thing, the Titans had playoff hopes in the season. Didn't go too good.
Yeah, that was something. You know, I thought for sure we was winning the division. If you asked me at the beginning of last season, I thought for sure we was going to win the division. We was going to sweep the Colts. We was going to sweep the Jaguars. I even predicted the Colts going 2-15. But, you know, that didn't really happen.
Well, I mean, who would have thought Daniel Jones had an absolute renaissance of a season?
Well.
But I will say this. I'm more excited at this point than I think I've ever been in my Titans fan history at this point a month before the draft.
It's amazing. Got new jerseys, just came out a few weeks ago. But, we got wide receivers as well. We got Wan'Dale Robinson. We got Calvin Ridley. And we got Alec Ironmaner, Chim Dike, and
Don't even say it. Just end it there.
XR87.
Maybe Juwan Jennings.
We'll see. That's all coming up shortly. We got a bunch of top free agents that are still available. We got, like Luke mentioned, we got Juwan Jennings. We got who else is there?
There's a couple of safeties still out there.
Tyreek Hill's available. Mm-hmm. That's kind of surprised me, honestly. Dallas Goedert available. We ain't going to get him because we signed another Eagles tight end. But
I could see us drafting in the 4th, 5th, 6th round, like day 2, day 3. I could see us drafting a rookie tight end.
Yeah, I could see that like Gunnar Helm last year. I could see us drafting the other Texas tight end and Jack injuries. But we're going to have to wait and see how the draft goes out. That's what we're going to get into now, the draft. It's 1 month away. We got plenty of time to talk about the draft here. Obviously, I think Jeremiyah Love is the pick for to be the Titans' next player in the first round for the Titans. Jeremiyah Love, he's proved in, day out, that he is a really good running back, especially showed it at Notre Dame, jumping over full-grown human beings there. But, I would wholeheartedly, without a doubt, draft Jeremiyah Love if I was in that position.
Not so fast, Nate. The Titans are not in a position right now that we're going to go draft the best skill player, or we're going to go draft the guy with the highest upside, or we're going to go draft the one guy who might have the possibility to be a generational talent. I don't think that's the position the Titans are in right now. The Titans have got to build a solid team. And I'm not saying Jeremiyah Love isn't solid, but where you're thinking the Titans are going to pick at, he's not a top 5 pick. He's not. Bijan Robinson wasn't a top 5 pick. Jahmyr Gibbs wasn't a top 5 pick. Heck, when we got Derrick Henry, he was a 2nd round pick. Reaching up on Jeremiyah Love, I think, has the opportunity. If everything works out good, then it's a reach, it's a gamble that worked out. And that's if he is 5 years, 1,000-yard seasons, just an absolute great running back for the Tennessee Titans, put him up in the Ring of Honor. That's if that happens, which, let's be honest with ourselves, that's not likely. What likely is going to happen is if you draft Jeremiyah Love, it's going to take him a couple of years to develop, a couple of years to get ready in that mode, because I don't see Jeremiyah Love instantly being that guy like Jahmyr Gibbs or Bijan Robinson was and running for 1,000 yards his rookie year. First of all, I don't necessarily think the Titans have a top 10 offensive line. I don't think we have the offensive line to have a rookie running back running for 1,500 yards behind us. But most importantly, Nate, the reason why I don't want to do this is because we're already paying Tony Pollard. No Titans fan is upset with Tajay Spears and the way he's been performing. So let me ask you this. We don't have a need for it. We don't have a need for Jeremiyah Love on this football team. I like Jeremiyah Love. He's a good guy. He's an outstanding character, like Boston was telling me. But we don't necessarily need him on the squad. What we need is an edge rusher. I don't care if it's Arden Reese, David Bailey, Rueben Bain, any of those 3. I don't care. We can have the argument about which one of those 3, but I think we have to hone in, we have to make a boring pick, and we have to get an edge rusher to help our defense.
I disagree with that. I mean, you said that we don't need Jeremiah Love, but Tony Pollard has 1 year left on his deal, and he's probably going to regress after this season. It could be during this season, And that's why I think we need to go ahead, strike fast here, and get, without a doubt, lock down that starting running back role in Jeremiah Love this year. Pick number 4 in the draft. I think he's too good of a talent to pass up on there at number 4. He's one of those generational guys you cannot miss out on, as in my opinion, I think he's without a doubt the best player in the NFL draft this year. I think he's without a doubt better than Fernando Mendoza. I think he's an okay quarterback. I don't think he's going to be an amazing quarterback. He looked good in college. It just depends on if he has the right tools to develop. I think the Raiders is kind of a risky place to go, if you ask me, but so is pretty much every other team that's in the top pick. Cam Ward got lucky, He's looking pretty well.
All right, Nate. What's the ultimate goal at the end of the season?
Super Bowl.
A Super Bowl. All right, let's look at some Super Bowls. Because you say we need Jeremiah Love. We need him on our team. When we've already got a guy who just rushed for over 1,000 yards in Tony Pollard and one of the best backup running backs in the league, Tajay Spears. So let's look at some Super Bowl winners, Nate. Last year, the Seattle Seahawks, Kenneth Walker. Kenneth Walker is not that good of a prospect. I mean, yeah, he's a good running back. He's a good running back. He had a good year, but what did he do the year before that? He was all right. But I'll give it to you. Kenneth Walker, really good running back. And then you have Saquon Barkley, really good running back. Well, who was the Chiefs running back the 3 years or 2 years that they won the Super Bowl?
Wasn't it Pacheco?
Isaiah Pacheco. Not a good running back.
That's debatable.
Come on. Be realistic. You got to give me something. Give me some slack here. Who was the Rams running back whenever they won the Super Bowl?
Kyron Williams.
Kyron Williams. But that was before Kyron Williams now. He was a rookie who was, okay. I guess Sony Michel was a real big, good guy there, right? And then you have Tampa Bay. Who was the running back for Tampa Bay? That was what? Leonard Fournette? Who's all right, but he's not a great running back. He's not this unbelievable talent. Then you keep on going. You got the Chiefs again. Then you've got the Patriots. Can you name me one Patriots good running back from their dynasty? Can you? Can you name me one good Patriot running back from their dynasty?
Sony Michel. They got.
Who was the backup when he played?
Who was that other guy?
They had Rex Burkhead, a fullback. They had Deion Lewis.
Lewis was good.
The Patriots never had these absolutely star running backs. You don't need a star running back to win a Super Bowl. But you look at these teams, and they have great pass rush. All of these teams. You need a defense. You need offense to sell tickets and get there. You need yourself a defense to win a Super Bowl. I don't want the Titans to end up in the same situation that the Bengals are in right now. They have Jamar Chase. They have Joe Burrow. They have T. Higgins. They have these great talents, this wonderful offense. They can score 40 on anybody, but when anybody can score 40 on you, that is a recipe for disaster. I think we have to draft based on our needs, and we need an edge rusher. We don't need Jeremiah Love. He would just be a pleasant addition.
I can see where you're coming from there, needing a good defense. I think, honestly, we got Robert Saleh as our head coach. He's a really good coach. I think he's going to really make that defense, take them into the right steps forward into the future of this franchise. I think the defense is looking good here for the future. But like you're saying about Bain, Bailey, all them, I wouldn't be totally disappointed if we get one. I'd be kind of frustrated that we passed on Jeremiah Love, but if we're talking edge here, I would much rather want David Bailey over Rueben Bain.
And I'm okay with that. I still like Rueben Bain. If I was going to pick one of the three, I still think that Rueben Bain would be my choice, but I'm completely okay with that. If you would rather have David Bailey or Arden Reese, I would say those guys are probably safer picks than Rueben Bain. And I'm completely okay with that. If you want to go with those guys, I just think it's not about the player. Because I think Jeremiah Love is good. Don't get me wrong. I said it during the season that I would love if we can get Jeremiah Love on this football team. But the way his stock has been inflated since the offseason, it's too much. It's too much for me to want to go up there and get him at that number 4 pick. I think we have to have a good edge rusher.
I think that'd be an okay move, but yeah, I think that's.
Now, if you want to introduce the idea of trading back and maybe seeing if we can get Jeremiah Love around that top 10, trading back a couple of spots and get something, then okay. I'm okay with that, but I agree with you. I just think, looking at his stock, when you talk about halfway through the season last year, Jeremiah Love was going, middle of the second round? and now he's up into the top 5 picks. I can't make myself do that. Not to mention Notre Dame was playing up against some of the worst run defenses in the league.
Yeah, I could see what you're meaning there. Now we're going to move into talking about some of the top targets in the free agents that are still left out there to be picked up. Now we're going to start on about that. Now we're going to dive into talking about some of the remaining free agents that are left in the NFL free agency pool here. Luke, do you want to get started off with the guy you want the Titans to pick up?
Well, I think there's 2 positions that we need. Linebacker, I think we need another receiver. So receiver-wise, we have Juwan Jennings out there, Stephon Diggs out there, and Tyreek Hill out there. Here's the thing. Juwan Jennings is by far the youngest, and I would say by far has the highest ceiling of those 3 guys. With that being said, his ceiling is nothing if Tyreek Hill is still the Tyreek Hill that he was the last couple of seasons when Tyreek Hill was still in his prime. The question is Tyreek Hill still in his prime, and do the Titans want to take that gamble? The other one is Stephon Diggs. Stephon Diggs was good last year. Stephon Diggs was very good last year. The thing about Stephon Diggs is that the kind of guy you want in the locker room with the Titans?
Yeah, that's a good question because, you've seen that clip from the Vikings days that they've done that clip of, I forgot what the question was, but that reporter asking all the players the question about who would you, it was something, and everybody said they would not want Stephon Diggs. That.
Well, he's got a famous girlfriend. Is it Sexy Red, Cardi B, Doja, someone, one of those?
Well, I think they got divorced and she called him out on X recently, so there you go again. But
here's the thing. I don't think we're going to get Stephon Diggs. I think he's probably the last option. I think he wants to go ring chase him. Tyreek Hill. I could see Tyreek Hill in a Titans uniform. I really could. Just manifesting that, I could see that happening. And here's the thing. If there's any team that is set up in the position to take a gamble toward Tyreek Hill, it's the Titans. Titans have a lot of money. They have a decent wide receiver depth. So if Tyreek Hill isn't 100% or if he goes back down, we can afford to get him. So if you were to ask me a month ago about Tyreek Hill, I was an adamant no. But at this point in free agency,
with him still being available as well,
I don't hate the idea of the Titans going out to try and get Tyreek Hill.
I don't either. I would like the pickup, honestly, and I think he's still a good receiver. Or we'll have to see how he does after that surgery from that injury last year. That's a pretty serious injury he had, but I think if you bring him in, see what he's got in training camp and OTAs, see if you like what you see, and then keep him on the team, I think that's a good pickup for the Titans.
But Juwan Jennings is also a diva, but he is from Nashville. I would say he probably wants to come play here with a Robert Saleh connection, being from his hometown. And I would like to see Juwan Jennings here. I think he is the kind of piece that can elevate your team to the next level in the wide receiver room. And I understand he's not a flashy wide receiver. He's not one of the best wide receivers in the league. But I still think there is a place on this team for Juwan Jennings.
I don't disagree with you. Like I've said in the past, I don't like his personality that he brings to the team. I don't think it matches well with the character we're trying to build within, with the foundation that we're building, like Bergonzi and all the others have mentioned. But he is a really good talent, and at the end of the day, honestly, I think you've kind of convinced me. I think I wouldn't hate seeing us bring him in. He's a former Tennessee Vol. He's from Tennessee, and that's just going to add to his history as being a Tennessean.
Well, here's the thing about the character. Robert Saleh said in his very first press conference, what 2 words do you want to define this team? Fast and violent. We're fast, but we need some violence. And I don't want this team to be all good, go lucky. Okay, we're going to go. We're all friends. There's no fights. We're going to go to the Super Bowl. We're going to win together as friends and positive energy. No. I want some violence. I want some hatred, some toxicity. I want something that can separate this team to be the next level. I don't want to be the prey. I want to be the predators. That's the thing about it, and I think that's what we need. And I don't think Jeffrey Simmons brings a little bit of that, but I think we need to add some more guys on this team who really bring that out. Cam Ward, he's just a nice guy. Jim Conley, he was a nice guy. Gunnerham, nice guy. Jim DK, a nice guy. All these guys are nice guys. We need some mean ones. We need some guys who are going to fire the place up. And that's just my opinion.
Yeah, no, that's not a bad take there. Like you mentioned, the Predators, the Nashville Predators are officially in the wild card race right now. They're in the playoff picture. Shout out to the Nashville Predators there. Another Nashville team there, but wanted to give a quick shout out to them.
Gold star for the Nashville Predators.
Yeah, they're amazing. They got 3 stars. This is going to their backup goalie who did well the other day. So good job to you.
I want to add one more thing. There's a fine line in between having some toxicity and some violence and some rough edges in the locker room and having locker room turmoil. We don't need locker room turmoil, not one bit. But if we can get close to that line, that is where I think we'll do good.
I agree. I think we'll do. I think you're going to see a big jump here this year. And honestly, let's go ahead and give as of now, our expectations for the Titans moving into the 2026 season. My honest opinion for the Titans moving into next season, I honestly think my expectation is at least 9 wins. I think with the schedule we have, the guys we've brought in, the coaches, the players, I think at bare minimum we should have 9 wins. I think this is going to be a good year. I think if anything's under 9 wins, I think that's another step in the wrong direction, and we're going to have to get things fixed quickly before it starts to crumble down like it did with Vrabel.
I'm going to agree with you and disagree with you. I agree with you. The goal is 9 wins. I disagree that anything below that is a step in the wrong direction. I mean, we're coming off of, 3 wins, 4 wins? How many wins did we have last year?
3, 2 years in a row.
3, 2 years in a row? A 7-win team would be a step in the right direction, in my opinion. But what I'm going to say for my goal is win the division. I think the division is going down. Daniel Jones and the Colts, I don't think they're going to be as good. C.J. Stroud, man, he looks rough. Bad. And that's not just me sitting here saying, well, a guy who's making a couple $1 million a year is a bad quarterback. No, he's bad. Trevor Lawrence and the Jags, I feel like they're our biggest threat. But once again, I don't know how they're going to respond after that wild card loss to the Buffalo Bills. So I think the Titans are in the best opportunity in the NFL to go from worst to first, like the Patriots did the year before. We have an easy schedule, easy opponents. At least we don't know the necessarily layout of a schedule yet, but we have easy opponents so far this season. So I think we need to win the division. And whether we can get that done in 8 wins, 9 wins, 10 wins, I think that's what we got to do.
Yeah, I think that would be a great wish there. That was my expectations last year. I was highly disappointed. We got another 3-win year, but that's going to wrap up our predictions there.
Now you asked me at the end of you asked me September the 1st. We're winning the Super Bowl.
We're winning the Super Bowl. There's no doubt about it. Whoever we draft, they're going to be the future Rookie of the Year. Cam Ward's going to win MVP. Everything's going to be sunshine and roses week 1, and then guarantee you come back around week 6, week 7, around there. You'll see a difference. You'll see a difference. But let's talk about the schedule. Do you think the Titans will get more than one primetime game?
I absolutely hope so. I love your addition of the rivalry, and you made some good points on that. I'll let you bring that up in just a second. But I think we should at least get 2. We should at least get 1 home, 1 away. Because I think Cam Ward has shown that he is entertaining to watch. The Titans, I think, are taking a step in the right direction toward being entertaining. I think some of these teams that are getting all these primetime games are going to go down too. I don't think that they're necessarily going to show the Steelers in 12 primetime games again like they did last year. Aaron Rodgers and stuff, they weren't that entertaining to watch. I mean, a couple of games were, but toward the end of the season, they were just boring. The Kansas City Chiefs, they didn't make the playoffs last year. I don't see how you're going to give them 15 primetime games again. Listen, I'm a Patrick Mahomes fan. I don't want to see Patrick Mahomes play in primetime. So I understand they're going to get a lot of primetime games. But I think a lot of these teams that you're seeing take up most of the concentration of primetime games, they're going to take a step back. I think this is going to allow the Titans to get at least 2 in there. I at least want a Thursday night football and a Monday night football. I understand if you're not going to give us a Sunday night, because that's for the best of the best matchups of every week, and I doubt we're going to have a best matchup of any week. But I want at least 2.
I think it'd also be cool. I think there's a good chance we might get a Thanksgiving game. If you look at our opponents, we do play 2 of the teams that have a Thanksgiving game every year, one of them being in the Lions, and we play the Lions at their stadium, so that's a possibility. And we also play Dallas away. So there's a good chance, Dallas, they've played AFC opponents for the past 2 years on Thanksgiving, the Chiefs this year and another team right before. So
I see what you're saying there, Nate.
I would like to see us play a holiday game.
And I would I would be beyond the moon if we got to play a Thanksgiving Day game. But I just don't think the NFL is going to put the Tennessee Titans in Thanksgiving. I don't see it happening at least this season. I don't see it happening if we had a dynasty. The Tennessee Titans just aren't that big of a market, so I don't necessarily see the Titans getting put in that position, but there's always a chance. And I would love that. I think that would be big for the organization right there. Like, that's up there with getting a draft, getting to host a Super Bowl. Getting to play on Thanksgiving is a big deal. Imagine how fun Thanksgiving would be.
Yeah.
Well, imagine how bad Thanksgiving would be if we lost by 40 to the Lions. Ugh. This is a little double-edged sword.
Yeah, that's true. There is one thing I want to touch on before we close out on the schedule. It's the international games. I'm hoping we don't get one. I think that's absolutely ridiculous that they're doing as many as they are. They said they want to have 18 international games, one for every team. I think that's downright dumb, if you want to think of a word for it, because it takes up teams' home games. They keep it fair. Each team has, eight home games every season?
They alternate 8 and 9.
And if you miss out on that, that's just kind of messing a team over if you think about it, because it's taking away one of their home games. Home field advantage is a real advantage in the NFL. And if you take one of those to, let's say the Titans play a London game or Ireland game, it takes energy getting there through the plane. That's a whole new schedule that players have to learn just throwing it in there. And even if they play a Thursday game, that's going to be even worse. But I just think it's ridiculous.
So the idea with the preseason and the regular season, every team should have 10 home games. Now, of course, since there's 3 weeks in the preseason, some teams only have 8 regular season home games. Some teams have 9 regular season home games, just depending on the preseason. They alternate every year. So the NFL's ideal is we're going to try and make every team have 8 regular season games by forcing the teams who have 9 to play overseas and have to waste one of their home games. And additionally, they'll make the Jags waste probably 2 of theirs because the Jags are London's team. I don't understand how that works, but that's how it works. But I agree with you 100%, Nate. I don't like it one bit. First of all, I don't like waking up at 8:30 to watch my team play in Britain with a lot of people who don't even know who Campbell is.
Probably end up for them to lose.
Yeah, I don't like waking up that early. I don't like missing a home game. I don't think it's good for the team. It can really get momentum set off and swing a season and stuff like that. So, I agree with you. I don't like seeing the Titans play internationally. I would rather have primetime games. Listen, I'm fine with the Thursday. I know a lot of NFL players hate playing Thursday night because it's such a short turnaround. I don't care. Give us a Thursday night football game. That's fine by me. I'm not out there playing. I don't have 4 days of rest. But the international games I don't really like. And then a lot of times because they try to do international games early in the season, and if you have an international game, usually you have a bye week right after. So I don't want an early bye either.
I like week 10, week 11 bye week. I think that's fair. I think that's the best possibility. Honestly, I know Roger Goodell, the NFL executive, I know he's talked about this, what I'm about to bring up. It's kind of my hope. I hope the NFL turns the regular season into a 20-week regular season, each team getting 2 bye weeks and adding on an extra game in there as well. And then that would extend the season 1 week longer, and that would make the Super Bowl, the day after the Super Bowl, be President's Day, and everybody would have the day off from work and everything from that. I think that's what they should do. It gives teams a second bye week, which would help them tremendously. It might not look like a lot, but within the team, and especially whatever place you have them in, that's really going to help a team out.
I'm a big Tennessee Volunteers fan, and that's what college football did last year. They implemented 2 bye weeks, and I didn't like it. I don't like my team not playing. 1 week is bad enough, my team not playing, because it feels like the NFL season is already so short, as it is. It just flies by. I already hate my team not playing 1 week. Add in 2 weeks, I really don't like that idea. Now, I understand that it's probably for business-wise to keep the season a little bit longer, force the playoffs a little bit after Christmas and stuff like that, and then you have, like you said, President's Day off. Hey, here's an idea. Let's cut the Pro Bowl out. If they do that, they should cut the Pro Bowl. But what is the Pro Bowl still doing in the NFL? They need to either completely revamp that or take it out 1 week. Because I feel like
it's ridiculous.
I feel like the 2 week gap in between the championship games and the Super Bowl is too long. I'd rather see them play back-to-back weekend after weekend and get the NFL season over that way. But mostly that's just personal bias. I don't want to see my team not play for 2 weeks. I don't want to have to sit there and wait and watch everyone else in my team not get to play for 2 weeks.
That's fair. I do agree with you. They need to change up the Pro Bowl. It's kind of ridiculous. I mean, it was good back in the day in like the 90s, early 2000s when players actually tried, actually tackled. Then you got to like the mid to late 2010s where it's basically a two-hand touch game out there. Referees whistle players down when they get touched, and players will keep running and they'll call it back. That was stupid.
The last good Pro Bowl was whenever Kobe Bryant, the day that he died, and Delaney Walker got the Pro Bowl MVP. That was, I feel like, the last good Pro Bowl. After that, it's been horrible.
I agree. It's ridiculous. Now, the flag football, I don't see the purpose in that. I don't see what teams get out of it. I just think it's ridiculous.
Like the biggest event of the Pro Bowl, the most watched thing I think they said last year was the dodgeball game. When dodgeball is the most watched event of the Pro Bowl, that's when you know you're doing something wrong. I'm not getting me wrong. I watched the dodgeball. I didn't watch the regular Pro Bowl. But they got to change something.
Honestly, I don't know if I've mentioned it on here. I think that the NFL should move the Pro Bowl week into the right middle of the season. And here's my reasoning behind that. I think there should be some stakes. I think what they should do is have, the same thing, best of the AFC versus the best of the NFC, and then have whichever team wins. Like, let's say the AFC team wins. I think it would be cool to let them have all an extra first-round pick, all those teams in that AFC. Or the NFC, they get an extra first-round pick. And I think that would really...
I think that's a lot to give out, though, Nate. I don't know if I want to do that or not, because if we miss out, the whole entire NFC gets a first-round pick. That's sort of scary. Here's my ideal. I think you completely disband the Pro Bowl, get rid of it, have the All-Pro. Like, that's the covet right there. That's the end of the season awards is the All-Pro. And I don't think teams are going to want to risk their players in the middle of the season for a meaningless game, or you put some meaning behind it, but still I don't think they're going to view that. They're here to win a Super Bowl, not get first-round picks for their team. So I don't think the players are going to want to play in that game. My ideal is you disband the Pro Bowl. You take the worst two teams of the season. You put them head-to-head. And now instead of wanting to lose and wanting to tank to get the first-round pick, those two teams are head-to-head with the winner getting the first-round pick, the loser getting the second-round pick. So like last season, whoever the last two bottom teams were, let's say it's the Titans and the Browns, they have to play each other. The winner gets the first-round pick, the loser gets the second-round pick. That's some real stakes football. If you still want to have that week gap in between the Super Bowl, that's my ideal.
I wouldn't be against that. I think that'd be a really fun game to watch because it's two bad teams, but there's, like you said, there's meaning behind it. But I agree with you there.
They can call it something stupid like the trash bowl right before
toilet bowl.
Because it's the toilet bowl. It's the game before the Super Bowl. You can call it the toilet bowl.
That'd be hilarious. But thank you all for watching episode 20 of the Titan Talk podcast. A little bit of a shorter episode, but again, there's not really much to talk about. Next week we'll be back for episode 21, and there's going to be a quiz video later this week as well. Going to get that out to you, and we'll see y'all next time.